These agencies have finished Nigeria. Let's look at the election petition tribunal. You see where an umpire is now behaving like a political party. INEC is now joining APC, asking, fanning up whatever the lawyer Ololani Peko and others say against PDP or Labour Party. The question now is INEC an umpire or a participant? Which candidate did INEC sponsor in this election?
Lots of days to remember have gone by, lots of occurrences in the political space, and Nigeria is gradually turning into a situational province where you will notice that the politicians and the polity is swaying to a direction we don't all understand, not until we reach a particular consensus where we feel the welfare of Nigerians and all citizens of the country will be put first as a form of stable governance. My name is Angelo Himalayas and I welcome to Nation's Voice Tower. Counsel to Labour Party and member of the Labour Party Obi-Deputy Presidential Campaign Council, Kenneth Okonkwo, who is also a legal practitioner, has engaged in an interview with Aisha Yusufu on the ongoing issue of the request for a live streaming of court proceedings in the ongoing Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal in the Court of Appeal, where he spoke about how embarrassing the judiciary has made issues of an indoor court hearing instead of a sort of public hearing as depicted in Section 36, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Let me allow you watch Kenneth Okonkwo as he painfully describes what he feels or what he terms as a sort of disappointment over the request to live stream proceedings in the Court of Appeal.
Oh. Yeah, you also talked about mobile phones not allowed. It's embarrassing because we're talking about live streaming of the election. And like I said, if you read your constitution very well, section 36, subsection 3, made it mandatory that our courts should be sitting in the public. What we have in Nigeria is court, not courts. What we have is C-O-U-R-T, not C-U-L-T. It is only courts that sit in secrecy. And court is even abolished in our constitution as illegal. If you're a member of a court group or a secret society, you're not qualified to be a politician. So when they start running our courts as courts, we have problems. And that's why most things are shredded in secrecy, lack of transparency. We need to live stream. What is anybody hiding? They say our court should sit in public. Section 36, subsection 3. You have your constitution, check it. So it's actually a denial of rights to Nigerian people that they will not sit in their houses and watch the proceeding. You see, this government has been denying us everything. They say they're going to transmit our results in real time, the same day, from the polling units, and everybody will know what is going on. Why would they deny us again the live streaming the same day from the court to the viewing pleasure of Nigerian people, so that they will follow up? If they will not do that, then let them throw the court open to 200 million Nigerians to come and listen to it live. And they must provide accommodation that they will be seeing the judges live. Oh, yes. So I agree with you. There is a need for live streaming. That is the application we made, which we were embarrassed that INEC is actually one of the people opposing it. Very embarrassing. So that is about.
Okay, Kenneth Okonkwo there. He's always outspoken, if you know him so well. And Aisha Yusufu has been an advocate of good governance, welfare, and activism of course, human activism to be precise, in the country over time. So, Kenneth Okonkwo is always fearless when it comes to depicting his points. And if you'd ask me my own take, I would say that in this country, we are always, or we always stand or fall at a situation where we make references to the constitution and the law of the land. What is the constitution talking about as regards the request to live stream broadcast or proceedings in court? Section 34 or 36 per se, subsection 3 has made it clear that our court proceedings should be seen or should sit in public. This is for transparency purposes and the balance of a sort of equity and justice. So we shouldn't really go against the constitution, especially when it comes to an application of the judiciary, because anything we do right now as regards the ongoing petition in court will be talked about and brought up by the international community, which would not seem to go well, especially with a country seen as a giant of Africa like Nigeria. So I would urge the judiciary to please do the needful and don't or stop patching the tent with INEC and the APC. Somehow, though, sort of allegation to a kind of attribute meaning to things or parts of the law that is not supposed to be seen as important, because this particular part of the constitution is so sacrosanct to the ongoing petition. Please, we need to be seen, or we need a live proceeding or live broadcast of proceedings in court. That is the plea of Nigerians. That is that on that particular update. I have something quite different this time around, because lots of people have over time sidelined columnists, editors of different newspapers and dailies, owing to the fact that they feel their voices are just heard on pages of dailies and not on air. So to this effect, few hours ago, veteran journalist and public affairs commentator Nze Ezeocha has accused the INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of colluding with lawyers of the All Progressive Congress, the APC, to frustrate the opposition parties in the ongoing Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. Speaking on Kakaki, a program on AIT, Ezeocha, an assistant editor of the new National Star magazine, spoke bitterly on the issues surrounding a huge demand of funds by the National Population Council and the Independent National Electoral Commission for sham and non-credible exercises that have been postponed or have not been termed credible. Let me allow you watch from the horse's mouth and listen to what he has to say on the ongoing collusion by INEC and the APC to kind of subvert, or a kind of allegation to subvert justice in the Court of Appeal. Let me allow you hear him.
These agencies have finished Nigeria. Let's look at the Election Petition Tribunal. You see where an umpire is now behaving like a political party. INEC is now joining APC, asking, fanning up whatever the lawyer Ololani Peko and others say against PDP or Labour Party. Mahmoud San, or the council of INEC, will back it up. The question now is INEC an umpire or a participant? Which candidate did INEC sponsor in this election? Or are they saying that the president-elect was sponsored by two political groups, APC and INEC? Is that what they are saying?
Because one of the clear examples is their refusal to want to telecast
exactly
and broadcast.
It's not only that. When they asked for, when the two aggrieved political parties and their candidates filed this petition, APC said dismiss it. Tinubu's lawyer said dismiss it. INEC said dismiss it. He doesn't want listening. This is an umpire. I think that INEC should move away from its current biased stature. The tribunal is helping them either to justify what they have done or to move against what they have done. But for them to budget a humongous sum of money for litigation to back up the candidate, the pronounced candidate, I think it's wrong. But is this how it happens in other countries? So the EFCC should search, investigate all these things. How are they spending this money that is being budgeted to them, these agencies? For somebody to just come, media executives, and tell them that be bold, happy, joyfully announce to Nigerians that you have spent our 200 billion naira for an exercise that never took place, and you want us to start clapping for you.
Which when the next administration comes in, may not even, you know,
he will not be asking for the 600. No, 600.
Okay, you heard it there from Azor Chance. The truth is, the collusion of the lawyers of the APC and INEC is nothing new, because this is Nigeria, and we are already hinging on a already dented polity, a second political system, an unstable political background, and so on. So we should expect even more chaotic occurrences than this. If you ask me, I will tell you this, that the APC and the INEC are a kind of collaborating to see that the Labour Party fall in this particular petition. Reasons being that the INEC, who is supposed to be a general umpire, an umpire that should be impartial when it comes to taking sides as regards the ongoing petition. But surprisingly, if you ask me, I will tell you INEC is taking sides with the APC. Why would you unanimously come in contact and say yes to whatever the APC council says? SAN, or Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Barrister Mahmood, that is counsel to INEC, has over time affirmed with lots of different addresses he has given to the court over few issues that have been raised by the APC council. He says yes to everything APC says in court. That is to tell you that they are pitching their tent together, and this is not supposed to be so. This is dangerous to the Labour Party. This is dangerous to the polity that is being viewed as a form of developmental governance that is going to be brought allegedly by the Labour Party. This is not good for the judiciary. This is not good for the Nigerian system. Let us see to it that INEC stands as one umpire to see you are just there to do a kind of deliberate, or you're there to bring to the minds of Nigerians the reasons why APC won the elections. You have to justify your results. Don't go and pitch your tent to the political party. Hence, the statement made by Kenneth Okonkwo a few days ago after proceedings on Thursday that INEC in this tribunal is standing as a political party, not as a political umpire. That is that on that update. I hope you really understood the analysis and how we had to link up the messages and the video there. Finally, award-winning presenter with Arise News, Rufai Oseni, a presenter that talks fearlessly, picks out the point where it is and hits the nail at the head, in a viral video currently circulating online, has captured a moment where Cross River State Governor Professor Ben Ayade, went confused when Oseni asked him 4 questions at the same time. This is what I'm talking about, because as a public office holder like a governor, you ought to have answers. When I say answers, I mean satisfactory answers to issues that are pertaining to your state's outgoing funds, incoming funds, and how they are spent. So, one of these questions was whether if the Emirates airline was making profit or not, which Ben Ayade outrightly said no, reasons being that, well, you will hear it from the video. And secondly, whether Ben Ayade didn't collect any form of loan during his regime as Cross River State Governor. And then, whether he said there was a lack of soya bean, and that was the main reason why his poultry farm system for the government wasn't working in accordance to the budget and plan or projected plan for it, and so on and so forth. In fact, Oseni was on the last question when Governor Ben Ayade started running helter-skelter and was confused in the studio. Let me allow you watch this very funny clip where a public officer was put on hit. This is so interesting to watch. Watch it.
Not making profit. That's not true. Only 6 days ago, Emirates made $2.9 billion in profits. Secondly, you said you did not collect loan. That's not true. There's a story on the 20th of February 2020 that says Ayade gets a nod to secure $35 billion loan in Cross River. And this was where you went to the House of Assembly to secure $35 billion loan from 3 commercial banks. All right. And thirdly, you talked about the fact that there was lack of soya beans for your project, your poultry project. Didn't you do your feasibility study enough to understand that there was going to be lack of soya beans and maize to be able to power, the Kalas chicken factory? That's number 1 question. Number 2 question will be, please tell me how the 45
Wait,
billion.
I'm not justing down. So
No. This is the real question. The first three were fact checked.
Unless.
No, Governor, yeah, the first three were fact checked.
No, your fact check was wrong because I did borrow 35 billion. An approval does not constitute borrowing. If you have an approval, just check 80% of what we have approved never been paid. I didn't borrow money to buy this Cali air, please. What's more, I said it on authority and they got a exam. I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
Don't read newspapers. Come on, I'll show you. Let me tell you how. Let me give you information on how I bought Cali air. Lafarge was paying 270 million. Lafarge is the biggest cement factory in Calabar. They were paying 270 million. And I traveled to France for a conference, and I saw that Lafarge was investing hugely on financing a conference that was, they spent 50 million, and $50 million to just support a conference. When I came back, I said, look, if you can do this somewhere else, you're creating volcanic erosions, potential volcanic erosions in my state. You're digging out a lot of limestone, leaving all of these dangers behind. Why can't you appreciate this small figure you pay? I negotiated something they couldn't get for 150 million to 2.8 billion. The first payment we made, we used it to pick salary. The second payment, we added money to it to be able to get the aircraft. Third payment, we did same. That's how we got the aircraft. The records are there.
Okay, Governor.
If it's approval, we get approvals, you don't get the funding.
Okay, Governor, just hang on a minute. There was another one that you were seeking a loan request for 10 billion from First Bank and Zenith Bank. It was around that time. But let's move on from all of that, Governor. I've asked you two questions. Number one was,
I don't know.
Didn't you do?
Wait.
No, Governor, Nigeria. Let me speak. Let me speak, please. Didn't you do your feasibility study enough to know that there was going to be scarcity of soya beans before you embarked on that project in the first place? Because you said, oh, there was no soya beans and all that. And secondly, I would like to know what has happened or what is happening to the 45 billion for the Bakassi Stabilization Fund. Because there's nothing going on and the people are impoverished in Bakassi. That's all I want to know.
Which one is the 45 billion Bakassi Stabilization Fund? There's no such fund. There's no such fund like 45 billion Stabilization Fund for Bakassi.
Your government.
Where are you getting your statistics from?
No, hang on a minute, Governor. Your government alluded to the fact that you have received 45 billion in Bakassi Stabilization Fund when somebody erroneously said they were paying you $500 million monthly, and you said no, it was 500 million naira. So what has been done with that money for the Bakassi people in your state watching today? Your government said it, not me. You can check the facts, they're there.
First, there is no, yes, let me come back to that. First, there is no such thing as 45 billion stabilization fund for Bakassi to cross River State. You can also do your fact check. Two, I built a very outstanding housing estate. I have a very outstanding, fantastic estate that I built for the people of Bakassi and brought them in there. But I think with the NSAS, it was destroyed. But essentially speaking, I would think my people will send you pictures. You go in there and see the fantastic estate that was built with the road network done, lighting, power, generator, everything fixed, and did a massive ceremony. Commissioning ceremony was done by the Obong of Calabar. Got them a fantastic place to live. That's one thing I did. Now, Cross River State earns far less than our salaries in a month. We pay between 3.
Thanks for staying this long with us, our lovely viewers. I would always tell you that our politicians and our public office holders wouldn't stop being probed, because that is the situation and that is the right thing to do. So if you ask me, I would say Rufai Oseni should continue doing what he knows how to do best, probing them, bringing them out, and making them understand why the polity has to be stable. If you're just joining us, don't forget to tap the subscribe button if you're an incoming subscriber. If you're an already existing subscriber, tap the notification bell so you could get an update from us anytime we drop any. Then share our videos, watch till the end, make it go viral, and like these videos. These particular activities make our videos go generally viral and universally. And finally, I would urge you, if you feel something different from what we're doing here, drop a comment for us in the comment section. I will see you in my next video. Bye.